Let's go. They've got everything. Everything caravan and camping. They've got everything.
Great to have you with us with our Everything Caravan and Camping podcast, sponsored by ECCParks. My name's Scott Hillier from Channel 7. Now, every week we are going to take you to an ECC Park destination around this great country of ours. We're going to get you there safe with our weight and towing masterclasses. We've got tech tips. We're going to chat with influencers as well as you, the listeners. We want to hear your questions, where you've been, what you're up to, something you want to know, something I haven't said, all of that. We're going to have a laugh with Caravan Park Confessions. It's an absolute cracker. And every week we're going to chat to the greatest chef ever given an open fire at a set of tongs, none other than Harry Fisher from Fire to Fork. I'm pretty excited. Let's go. Come on. Now, ECC, it's a 24/7 marketplace for all things caravanning, camping and four-wheel driving. With more than 10,000 products available from hundreds of popular brands, you'll find everything you need for your next outdoor adventure. Don't forget, subscribe to the newsletter and save a further 10% off the best brands, products and prices. They're only a click away.
Come on. Let's go. Everything caravan and camping.
Yeah, I hope you're enjoying this, our Everything Caravan and Camping podcast. Now, one of the more popular segments of our podcast, and rightly so, because we want people on the road to be safe, to have peace of mind, to getting to their destination, there, getting home safely. And a man that's helping do that with our weight and towing masterclass is the great David Lewis. How are you, mate?
G'day, Scotty. How are you? Thanks for having me on again.
Yeah, no, absolute pleasure. Hey, for you, Dave, like me, you eat, breathe, you drink caravanning. Do you get away in a van, or do you like to go and stay in a big 5-star motel? What does the great Dave do?
I love my caravanning, yeah. And that's actually how I got into the caravan weighing business, actually, because we had a few issues with our van 6 years ago, and we managed to get it all fixed up. But that's how it all basically started. And a lot of people that we weigh their caravans are not necessarily people that are new to caravan. Some of these people have been caravanning for 20 years and that. But it's still as important whether you're new to it or you've been doing it for 20 years to make sure that you are compliant with all your weights.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good point. How often do you see people that, look, I've been doing this for 37 years, I'm a caravan expert, and that they finally come to see you and they've been doing it wrong for many years? It must happen.
It does happen, yeah, it does happen. A gentleman, one of my customers comes to mind, he's been around Australia 3 times. Yeah. And it's the first time he'd weighed his car in his caravan, and it didn't go too well, but at the end of it, he had all the information, and I did speak to him some months later, and he had everything. He had it all he had things done to the car and the caravan and fixed it all, reduced weight, obviously. But and that's some of the people, like you say, are like that. Some people are new to it, and they want to make sure they're right before they start.
Tell us, Dave, why should we be weighing our rig? It's got to play a bit on insurance. God forbid anything will ever happen. We're going to do it all safely, but if it's not right, insurance, it's going to be a bit of an issue.
Yeah, it is, Scotty. Look, there's a few factors in it. Like, obviously, we do a little bit of work for some insurance companies, and it's not only for caravans, it can be for boats and also vehicles. And in the last few years, we have been called in by insurance companies where something's failed, like a boat trailer, for instance, has failed, and they want to know what that boat weighs on the trailer. Well, if you've exceeded what the manufacturer of the trailer says you can put on it, then it's not going to go too favourable with your insurance company.
Exactly.
The same thing applies with a vehicle. If some component or something breaks on a vehicle, then you can be in the same boat, so to speak. It's more about knowing where you are to start with. Caravans, vehicles, boats, anything like that, I know insurance companies are looking at it. However, there's probably the most important factor I've got is I know people talk about you can get a fine. Over the last 12 to 18 months, we have seen Queensland Transport and Queensland Police had a joint operation last year.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And they actively pulled over caravanners there was 4 places they did it, and they pulled over roughly around 80 caravanners. Yeah. And I know that there was in excess of 30 fines issued. Yeah, so they are doing it. They're not going hard line on it. But with your car and caravan, you've got basically 6 compliance metrics there. So each one of those compliance metrics, you could get a $270 fine per infringement. Yeah. So if your car's over your gross vehicle mass and your caravan's over your aggregate trailer mass, potentially you've got a $540 fine coming there.
And we don't want that. We don't want
look,
that.
No, that's right. I'm just stressing that's probably extreme, but
Yeah.
the fines are there. And the Big Red Bash was just on, about a month ago?
A little while ago.
Yeah, there was an operation out at Morven, out here on the way to Charleville, where Transport and Main Roads and Queensland Police had an operation there where they pulled over caravans and they were checking ratings. And
Yep.
I don't know what the results were, but I'd say there'd be a few people heading off the Big Red Bash with a bit of a sad look on their face.
Yeah, and you don't want that. That comes to peace of mind, and hopefully the podcast we do talking about all this weight and towing masterclass,
Yes.
it just keeping people alert, making sure that they are doing the things right, and you're one of the blokes that can make that happen.
That's right, mate. Yeah, as far as fines and insurance, my angle on it is still the number one reason you need to do it, to make sure you're compliant. It's your safety, but it's also, we've got a duty of care to other road users, haven't we?
Yeah.
We're driving on down the highway in our car and a caravan, and if it's overloaded, we don't know how it's going to operate under emergency braking, for instance, but not only for the safety of my family and my car and my caravan, but also those people that are travelling on the road with me, I have a responsibility to them as well. A lot of the stuff we're doing with Caravan in Queensland with the Van Safe program, it's all about road safety.
Yep, beautiful, Dave. You have put it very well. Great to chat as per usual. Give us your website, mate, if people want to catch up with you.
Sure, mate. Thanks, Scotty. mobilecaravanwayne.com.au or phone number 0477897700. I operate in Brisbane. We've got Shane in Darwin, Shane in Toowoomba, Paul in Coffs Harbour, and Jono down the Gold Coast. Give me a call here and I can put you in touch with any of those guys if you're outside of Brisbane.
Lovely. And then we do have question time. And if you'd like to throw a question that we can get Dave to answer, you can email me, podcast@everythingcaravancamping.com.au. Dave, have a great week, my friend.
Thanks, Scotty. Thanks for calling me.
Okay, it's that time of the podcast. Hope you are enjoying this, our Everything Caravan and Camping chat. It's tech tip time with the great Charlie. How are you, mate?
I'm doing well, Scotty.
You've been out and about? How's the bub? I've got to talk. I rudely haven't asked about the new bub.
She's doing great.
Yeah.
She actually just came, the Flinders Rangers I was talking about a couple of weeks ago, she was down there with us.
Oh, she went with you?
She went with us.
How'd you go with the bub?
Actually, forward driving with the baby.
Yeah.
It opened up a whole new world. We were like, she's literally getting rocked to sleep because you're not going helter-skelter down these goat tracks.
Yeah, okay.
You're doing nice, gentle rocks, and it puts her to sleep.
And no dramas? There's probably a lot of people listening going, travelling with the bub, kids. Were you a bit nervous?
We were nervous, but at the same time, the technology around baby seats now, you can adjust them right in.
Yeah, they're like recline. Yeah, it's like flying first class.
Exactly. She was snug. Like, it was a little capsule.
Yeah.
If she had a bit of freedom to move, but at the same time, she wasn't going to do... There was a lot of control around her not being able to hurt herself, and also, you're just not driving like a...
Yeah, so you'll definitely do it again.
Yeah, 100% do it again. I can't wait for the next one.
What's that? Next baby or next trip?
Next trip. Let's start with the next trip for now.
All right, mate. What are we chatting about today?
So this week we're talking fridge slides.
Okay, very important. Virtually everyone who's got the big 4B have got the big fridge that slides
That's it, mate. And obviously, Mike Cohen is a huge brand.
Yep.
The one thing that you need with those big fridges in the back of your canopies and the back of your cars is a fridge slide.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, that just makes it so much easier. For example, the Mike Cohen Prada that we went away with on our Flinders trip, I've got the nice drop-down slide in the back. It made it so easy. You can slide it out, drop it down. The wife can get in there nice and easy. I can see...
So talk to me when you say drop it down. What's that mean?
So basically, you can slide it out of the back of the car.
Yes, I'm picturing that.
Yep.
All the way out.
Yep. And then you just got a little mechanism. You can grab it, and then it drops down.
Oh, so you can actually get into it a bit easier.
Yeah, that's it, mate.
Get out. I don't think I've seen anything like that.
Oh, Scotty, you've been...
I know. We've been living under a bloody rock. I've been too busy. Oh, okay. So slide and the drop.
That's it, mate. That's it. So when you got those big lifted rigs, you don't have to worry about doing the lucky dip up in over your chest freezer there.
Which you do, especially when there's a couple of cold tins.
Oh, yeah, mate. You can find
your... Forex, you don't know what you're going to grab. They're one of those.
That's it.
And they're sold separately to the Mike Coolman. So you get the ice box and then you get one, obviously, I'm assuming, to fit the size that you've
So obviously, all the ones out there now, they'll have... And we have that available also on ECC. You can buy, so for example, you buy the 53 litre dual zone.
Yep.
They will then recommend this fridge slide works perfectly that, whether you want straight slide, drop slide, and it even comes, so you know how the lid opens to the side?
Yes.
You can get slides now that open with that facing you.
Really?
Yeah, mate. There's a whole new world out there.
So I can see all the people out there listening in the RV world going, wow, that is going to make life a lot easier.
Anyone actually owning a hybrid caravan out there,
you
have a variant of a fridge slide in your hybrid.
Yes.
So that being a straight slide, if you have a canopy set up in your four-wheel drive, so there are a lot of places that everyone likes going where you can't tow your van.
Yeah.
You got your canopy set up, and now you can have the drop slide.
Oh, we're live, so we're going to keep going. That was Charlie's phone. That's quite funny.
The wife's calling me.
No, you owe me a car. We're going to push through this. I found that's to prove to people we're live. We're not pre-recording. Well, we are pre-recording, but we're recording live.
That's it. Canopies, fridge slides. Obviously, if you've got caravan, or a lot of caravans now even come with tunnel boot at the front there where you can have your fridge slide. And obviously, we also do the drop slides for the canopies.
Wow, that is crazy. And ECC website, everythingcaravancamping.com.au.
Jump on Everything Caravan Camping. So it's either your Clearview products or your MSA products. Check them out. They've got everything you could need.
Charlie, you're a whiz. Thanks, mate.
No worries.
Come on. It's that time of the podcast where we catch up with Jason Filippini. How are you, mate?
Oh, Scotty, I'm excellent today.
Good.
It's just a fantastic day on the sunny coast.
It's been a bit warm, hasn't it?
I tell you, that humidity's getting into us.
I'm bigger than you, and I do sweat. You can handle it. I'm a sweater, and I've been sweating the big boy. But Caravan Park Confessions. Well, I'm just looking into your eyes. Is this what have we got here? I'm not sure. Take it away.
I reckon today this is a story that I was actually part of, and it's a health related one.
Oh,
it's actually a really good one as we come into summer and we're coming into all the fun and
you got the O in there. That's good. I wouldn't have
of Christmas and all that sort of stuff. So the story goes like this. It was a number of years ago. There's this lovely gent and a wife, so a couple. They came into the park and they're rather wealthy. They're rather intelligent. They're all everything you can think around a really respectable traveller. And he's there, and he's probably in his mid-60s, and he came in the gate, and he went and set up. And I've known them for a few years, and he rang me at about 8 o'clock at night.
Oh.
And I picked up the phone, and I go, hello, beep. And he goes, hey, Jace, I think I'm having a heart attack.
Oh.
And I said...
Are you waiting for the punchline or no?
No, he was dead serious.
Oh.
He was dead serious. And I said, why?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Anyway, and he started telling me, I said, mate, why are you calling me? He goes, I don't know what to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just, there you go.
So then we quickly organised the ambulance, and he actually was having a heart attack.
Oh, wow.
But just the way he relied on everything in the park. As soon as he checked in the gate, he checked his brain.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And so whilst it was a little bit funny afterwards because we had a laugh about it.
Yeah, he's alive and we can laugh now.
And we laughed. But,
did you say to him 000? Not J?
Exactly.
He just lost
it. And it really highlighted to us as operators the need for education and all those other things.
Especially from your staff, and you like to know what to do.
Defibs and all that sort of stuff. So it really highlighted a really good cause coming into this festive season around that sort of stuff. But he just thought, I'm gone.
I'm dying.
The manager is gone. He can sort it out.
Defibs, do you have them in all the parks?
We do. And very recently, we've used 3 of them. So it's something that's really relevant to the conversation.
While we're going on the podcast, who can use them? Can someone...
Anyone can grab a defib. They are so user-friendly.
That's what I was going to say. What if you don't know? But it's all written there for you.
It's all there. You open it up. It says put one on the left, on the right chest, one on the left side. It tells you to stand clear. You press the button. It checks whether there's a defib or shock required. It goes through the process.
It checks. Okay.
Yep. So when your defib, when it happens, is so you put it on one on the right side around the nipply space. The other one's on the left side, down or under the armpit, the axilla.
Yeah.
And then you press some buttons, and it says checking patient.
Oh, wow.
And no shock required. Continue CPR.
Okay.
Shock required. Please stand clear.
Okay.
Press to shock.
Yeah.
And you just go through this process. It is really user-friendly. My mother could do it.
There you go. Oh, well, okay. Well, that is a good thing. Little tip, don't be ringing the park manager. Oh, well, if you need to, maybe you do.
Yeah, give us a call, but you know what? 000, and don't check your brain at the front gate.
Oh, I love it. Good on you, Jace. Chat next week.
Thanks, Scotty.
Come on. Let's go. Everything caravan and camping.
Okay, that time of the show where we go to a little bit of listener feedback. As we do every show, we ask you to email in if you'd like any questions answered or you want to talk about any trips you've done, you're just loving the podcast or all of the above. And we have a little email from Brig. How are you this morning, Brig?
Excellent, thank you.
That is the way. Now, tell us a bit of your backstory. You do smaller trips. You're not doing a lap like for 2 or 3 years. Tell us about your travelling adventures.
As much as I would love to do the lap, and when time permits, that is the plan.
Yeah.
But at the moment, it's short trips in our little van, which we love. It's a nice little circuit breaker.
Yeah, so where are you based, Brig?
Brisbane.
Oh, lovely. So I did chat to you off air and we can let all the listeners know that you've downsized your van. So tell us what you did have and then the reason why you've gone a bit smaller and what sort of van you've got.
Yeah, so we had a 23-foot network, which was like a beautiful apartment on wheels, and we sort of semi-lived in that. Now we don't need such a big van, so we decided to go to a single-axle 17-footer. We love it.
You love it. And that's a really good point you mentioned, the single axle as opposed to the dual axle. What sort of difference does that make? Does it make you feel a bit safer or less to tow? Or how do you find the downgrade to the single axle?
It's easier to tow. Not so much, though. I mean, we just tow with a Ranger and it seemed to handle the bigger van no problem.
Yeah.
Probably feel it most when you're going up the Toowoomba Range, but you notice the difference.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. So tell us one of your trips that sticks out. Like I know you're home at the moment, but you love getting away. Where's somewhere or a couple of trips you've done recently that you're thinking, oh, that was the best trip ever?
Oh, look, we love a place called A Place to Call Home on the Sunshine Coast. It was an amazing little property with a great creek. They had platypus. Not that I saw it because I don't get up that early.
Well, what we do, Brig, we just say, yes, we saw one, there's one, and but nobody knows.
I mean, I know what they look like.
Okay. And
another little place was called Barney Creek Winery, and they had a little campground there, as well as some houses or whatever. So we ducked up to the little winery and had a little taste. So that was a lovely spot too.
And you don't have to, should I say, walk or stagger back to the van? Walk, we'll say.
That was a short walk, and that was probably for the best.
Yeah, lovely. And so that's a bit closer to where you live. Have you done any trips further afield? Have you been away for weeks or days or even a month?
I blame Camplify because we in 2020 hired a van and went out to Longreach with some friends who also hired a van, and we thought we will never be caravanning people, blah, 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 until we did this. Then we came home and thought maybe we'll get a van and we'll hire it out as some sort of passive income.
Yeah.
And then we met Caravan HQ and the rest is history.
There you go. So you actually sound a bit like my wife. So my wife, her memory of a caravan is back when we were 20 years ago and I'd take her away to a little place called Poona in a Bondwood 12-foot full of cockroach. Yeah. And caravanning to her is that. But just recently I've taken her to a couple of the big trade shows that Caravanning Queensland run and I've walked her through a couple of the vans and she is blowing. I know. She can't believe leather dinette, queen size bed, stand-up shower, separate toilet, washing machine and dryer. She's like going, how long's this been happening? But the way you described it then, what impressed you? Like you weren't a caravanning lady and then you did the trip out and you've just gone, wow, this is pretty cool.
I mean, when I say I wasn't a caravanning lady, I had always associated it with grey nomads, but it has absolutely changed since then. It is such, as well as the grey nomads, it's such a younger market now. I guess that's what I sort of mean by that, but I've literally grown up in and around caravans over the years, so I'm kind of very familiar with them, but it was just getting out and about in them, resetting yourself. Yeah. I loved the outback when we were out there. So it was.
I love it. And it seems to be a common theme. Everyone we're getting emailing in or ringing is saying it's just it's a recharge. We go away. Yeah. A lot of the places there's no reception. We off grid or in the parks. We're meeting friends for life. It's just, was it fair to say, is that what you love about the lifestyle?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And
we've inherited a rescue dog, so we've got a big black Labrador to try and fit into our 17-footer too, but we make it work.
You make it work. But you know what? If you do want to, I know you talked about going off-grid, but if you want to go to some parks, there's a lot of them these days that are pet-friendly.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah,
we go every Christmas for a couple of weeks up to Alex Beach Cabin and Tourist Park, which is great because it's literally across the road from the beach. They've got a pool, they've got playgrounds for kids, and they take dogs, so it's a great spot.
Happy days. Now, Brig, you've done it for a while. As you said, you've grown up around it since you were young. Any little tips, anything you think, you know what, I won't do that again or I will do that, or something you've acquired over the years?
One thing we noticed when we were unpacking the 23-footer to sell was that we found things in there we had, never used in 2 years. So I would say don't take it a second time if you haven't used it the first time. But probably from a sort of a tips point of view, when you're getting ready to go, we have changed, updated for ourselves a checklist. So we literally check everything off to make sure it's all safe and sound, ready to go. So
fantastic.
I would just, safety is key.
Yep, lovely, Brig. Thank you for emailing in. It's been great to chat, and good luck on your next trip, wherever it may be. And as I said, thanks for being a part of the podcast.
You're most welcome. Thank you so much.
Okay, it's that time of the podcast where we lick our lips, we get our tongs ready. The greatest man ever to cook over an open fire, Harry Fisher, Fighter Fork. G'day, mate, how are you?
Good, mate, how are you?
Oh, I'm chipping away for a battler, as I say, but you can't say that because you're not a battler.
I am battling to stay ahead at the moment, mate, I can tell you.
Yeah, you are busy. I know you've been travelling and you're just getting bigger and bigger. The cookbooks are going well, and that's probably a little plug for you there. You've got books everywhere if people want to. And I've got to say, the feedback from the podcast, Harry, has been fantastic. People are loving your recipes. And I have a confession.
Oh, good.
I have a confession. I may or may not have used a couple filming on Creek to Coast.
Good man. Good man. I hope you said they were yours.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I did say, I said a good mate of mine showed me this. So I did the oyster sauce with the panko breadcrumbs.
Ripper.
And the buttermilk, the fish in the prawns and or fish in the buttermilk, and then into the corn flour, the little crispy
Very
one
nice.
for the kids. So,
very nice. Yeah,
right.
they're a ripper.
Yeah, so people are going, shut up, Scotty. We want to listen to Harry. So, mate, where are we going and what are we up to this week? What recipe are we got?
Well, why don't we stick on the buttermilk theme?
Love it.
I want to talk about roast chooks, because I think roast chooks are one of the worst cooked camp meals, I think.
Yeah.
So how many times have you had a dry roast chook? I've had so many.
Thousands. To be honest, Harry, I'm probably scared to have a crack at a roast chook because I know I dried out. So that's probably maybe a lot of the listeners are thinking, a roast chook on the open, tough, but you're going to tell us no.
I'll tell you how to make an absolutely idiot-proof one. First step is you got to go to your butcher. Don't go to the supermarket. Go to your butcher. And you say to them, can I have a boneless chook? And they will completely debone it. So it's just meat.
Wow.
And so it's all butterflied. It's just a big slab, skin on. It's wicked. So it's just a big slab of chicken, right?
Yep.
Then all you do, get your buttermilk, chuck your chicken in a bag or in whatever, chuck your buttermilk in there, leave it overnight, leave it for anywhere from an hour to 48 hours.
Wow. And what does that do?
That will tenderize it. There's a bit of acid in buttermilk, because buttermilk, as I said before, is actually not butter.
Yeah.
So it's milk and acid. So it's milk and a bit of either lemon juice or vinegar or something like that. It's just an extra acid. So that will break down the chicken and it makes it insanely tender.
Wow.
So you get a bit of that, get a couple of tablespoons of salt, chuck it all in, and then all you do is get a low heat on your grill, or even better if you've got like one of those grill baskets.
Yes.
Just over the coals, and you cook it for about half an hour, 40 minutes until it's just brown on the outside. And that is all you need to do. That is going to be the most tender, crispy skinned roast chook you've ever had.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to be honest again. That could get a run on Creek to Coast as well. So the buttermilk, and you did say that when we spoke about it weeks and weeks ago, that the buttermilk isn't full of butter. People think, buttermilk.
No, there's no butter.
It's got that bit of acid in it, just breaks the seafood and the chicken down, the roast chook.
That's it.
And what would you put with what would you put with the roast chicken?
I think it's pretty hard to go past some roast spuds, maybe some pumpkin and something green. Keep the health conscious happy. So chuck a bit of broccolini next to it or whatever you like, really. Just a bit of salad.
Yeah, if you eat it or you don't eat it, as long as it's there, you feel a bit better, don't you, Harry?
Yeah, that's it. And tell you what, chop it up, chuck it in a wrap. It's wicked. It's great the next day,
mate.
But it stays really tender and juicy.
Mate, I can see a lot of the listeners out there writing notes, licking their lips. But once again, as we do every podcast, tell people where they can find you or even possibly see you doing the recipe.
Yeah, no worries. So I'm on YouTube and Instagram and all that sort of stuff. My cookbook is in basically everywhere. Yep. I just found out it's actually the best-selling outdoor cookbook in Australia.
Well done.
I'm pretty stoked with that.
Well done, mate.
Yeah, take that, Jamie Oliver. So yeah, look, it's pretty well anywhere. Jump on my website, you can see all that sort of stuff, and come to the full drive shows or something, and you can actually see it live.
Lovely. Harry Fisher, Fighter Fork, you're a legend, mate. We'll catch up next week.
Cheers, Scotty.
Let's go.
Now, don't forget to head to the Everything Caravan and Camping podcast page at everythingcaravancamping.com.au. Sign up to the newsletter for your chance to win a $50 voucher to spend on the ECC marketplace. Now, don't forget to catch up on all of our ECC episodes. Go to where you get your podcasts, or it's pretty simple. Head over to the website, everythingcaravancamping.com.au.
Let's go.
Okay, that time of the podcast, we catch up with the great Jason Filippini. How are you, my friend?
Scotty, I am brilliant. What a day today.
Yeah, it is good. Now, I believe you're going to take me across the ditch. Where are we going this week?
Look, Scotty, I thought, you know what? It's time to go across and see our neighbours.
Yeah.
Let's go to New Zealand.
Yeah. And as we talk about, and you often break, it's not just Australia. ECC have got plenty of parks in New Zealand.
We do indeed.
Yeah,
We've got a range of parks in both North and South Island of New Zealand.
Wow.
And it's such a great partnership. It's such an awesome experience to go on. You can actually almost do a full road trip staying at all our parks right around New Zealand.
That's pretty special.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It is. And you know what? The people over there, the operators, the local communities, they are just amazing.
Yeah, lovely. Mate, which one are we featuring?
Today, I thought we'd go a little bit on the nose, and you'll understand why shortly.
Okay.
We're going to the All Seasons Holiday Park in New Zealand.
Okay.
Rotorua.
Oh, wow.
Yes, Rotorua.
Yeah.
Having been there a couple of times, very good friends with the owners and with the management at the park.
Yeah, okay.
Been and stayed just for a holiday, not even for work.
Yeah.
Just been over and seen them. How you going?
You would have done some work. You couldn't have helped yourself.
The first thing you notice when you drive into Rotorua, and you've got to know this straight up.
Yeah.
It smells.
Oh,
yeah. So Rotorua is sulphur.
Okay.
It's basically on a old volcano.
Okay,
it's still
gotcha.
hot. So you got hot bubbling mud.
Yeah, gotcha.
And the smell that comes out of the bubbles, and even in the shops, there is a smell. But you get used to it really quick.
It's nothing. Yeah, it doesn't drive you away.
No, it's actually an experience.
Yeah.
And it is so good. Then you go and see these big hot bubbling pits of mud, and it's got this beautiful lake.
Yeah.
And the water, because it's got a volcano underneath it, the water is amazing.
Crystal clear. Yeah, nice.
So it's a lovely place in the world.
Yeah.
And Rotorua, so many things to do in Rotorua. But let's just talk about the park for a second.
Yes, go for it, my friend.
Let me tell you a little bit about All Seasons Holiday Park. It's on the outskirts of town on the other side of the airport.
Yeah.
It's not a long drive to get to the centre of town, and there is so much to do. The park is literally 200-metre walk to the lake.
Oh, wow.
You can go down the lake. They've got a heated pool that's covered. You can go there in the middle of the winter. And it's cold in New Zealand in winter. It's cold in New Zealand in November.
Yeah, exactly.
But, so the pool's heated all year round.
Yeah, wow.
And the park is just set out on an amazing area.
Yeah.
And the owners have got passion for charity.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And so they decided that they would buy all these life-size dinosaurs.
Oh, what?
They've got 19 of them around the park.
Wow.
And what they do is every year they get local businesses and international businesses and people around the community to sponsor the dinosaur for the year.
Okay.
They donate all that to charity.
Oh, what a good cause.
They are so good. And you know what? The kids love it.
Yeah.
It's like going to the dinosaur museum, but it's in your holiday park.
Yeah,
it's so cool.
Yeah.
Clive Palmer, eat your heart out.
Yes. Hired who? Palmer who? Yeah. Wow. Okay. Tell me more.
So, look, it's a beautiful park. It's got a number of different style of accommodations.
Yeah.
It's got a 45-bed lodge house. So, you know, if you've got a massive group of people, friends, and you want to have a trip, ideal. School camps, all that sort of stuff go there.
Yeah.
But they've also got cabins from, again, a budget-style cabin all the way up to some really luxurious accommodations. And obviously they've got the caravan sites. They don't have any en-suites, but their amenities are impeccable.
Okay.
They do everything on site, which is not necessarily normal for such a large park.
Yeah.
So they do all their laundry, they do everything. They are just an amazing group of people. Kevin and Tracy, they are one of the best people in the industry. They are amazing.
Yeah.
They've got their dinosaurs and they've got their stuff in the park, but if you just take 5 seconds, go out of the park and you go straight to the biggest hill in the town.
Yep.
You go up the top,
Yep.
and they've got a beautiful restaurant on the top, amazing feed.
Yeah.
but then you can do this luge all the way down the hill. Oh, yeah.
Really?
And it goes fast.
We're big fellas. How fast would we go?
I tell you,
I'm bigger than you.
I've nearly come out of that one. I was coming down that, and if you lay down hard and you pull back and you don't hold the brakes on, it's
gone.
dangerous.
So, okay, bit of a luge, and I'm guessing the shops, etc., are all pretty close to the park?
Yeah, look, the shops there's enough close to the park to go and get a walk and a coffee and all that.
Yeah.
It's a couple of minute drive into town. The shopping in town is amazing.
Yeah.
It is provincial type shopping, so there's no malls, it's all street shopping.
Yep.
It is just a great experience. And at night time, the one last thing at night time, you can go to this area and it's the treetops and it's lit by lanterns and you do this big treetop walk and it's safe. Grandma can do it. So it's very safe and it's such an amazing experience. It's almost like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Incidentally, it was only filmed about 100 kilometres not far away, so it's inspired by that. It's amazing.
And for those that want to camp, obviously would have a beautiful big camp kitchen there.
Yeah, they've got their camp kitchen. They've got an amazing amount of facilities there because it is a passion of the owners to really provide everything, and it's a wonderful park.
Okay, Rotorua. So, mate, where can people find out more if they want to get information about any of the other ECC parks?
Yeah, all they got to do is go to ECCParks.com.au.
It's all there.
It's all there.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you're not a member, Scotty's going to tell you all about it.
While you're on the computer checking it out, I know we keep pushing this, but it's because the deal is so good. Everything caravanncamping.com.au. You need to become an ECC Parks Family Parks Travel Rewards member, and it's $30, which gives you 2 years cover. And you get, as you said, there's a 2-night stay. You stay a third night for free. There's an entry card to their frequent camper competition. It's just a no-brainer.
What more could you ask for?
Yeah, if you are travelling, you really need to do it. Jason, we've done another one. It's going to be on again next week.
It is indeed, Scotty. It is. I will be here, all happy and ready to go for another park.
Good on you, mate. And in terms of parks, there's 65 throughout Australia and New Zealand. Now, if you head to everythingcaravanncamping.com.au, you can purchase an ECC Parks Family Parks Travel Reward membership. Now, it's only $30. Now, this membership, the things it gives you is crazy. 10% off your stay at all of the ECC Parks and Family Parks destinations throughout Aussie here and over in New Zealand. You get discounts and deals while you travel with their rewards. You get the third night free. You get voucher. You get an entry card to their frequent camper competition. So, for $30, you can't go wrong. So, be sure to jump onto the website and check it out. Well, there we go for another week. Absolute blast here. We're Everything Caravan and Camping podcast. Don't forget, if you've got any questions, you want to raise an issue, you want a question for any of the people we talk to, we can do that easily. If you send us an email, podcast@everythingcaravanncamping.com.au. Be safe out on the roads if you are travelling anywhere. See you next time.
Come on. Let's go. They've got everything. Everything caravan and camping. They've got everything.